What does it mean to carry knowledge in the body, and what do the stories look like? When I went to graduate school, I was really interested in the fact that there were no images of people of color or by people of color in the history of photography class that I was taking. So for me, I asked this question of, if the images didn't exist, I know that we existed then. And so what is the way that I can recall that information, and that I could actually recall a photographic image of someone who existed before photography? The shutters open for a fraction of a second, and yet you have this complete world opening in front of you. So it's a combination of what comes out of the body and memory, history, cellular memory, ancestral memory, and then using the technology to facilitate that opening. And it's a spiritual opening, or a physical opening, or imagination, or story that comes through. We have this intense history, and so what does it look like when we start creating and imagining and thinking about the responsibility of creating this world as artists, and what the imagination makes in the world? Because everything begins with a thought, and then that thought creates something. And are we always going to be creating this brokenness to our stories? And for me, I'm very interested in what happens when you draw on power and create something as if you didn't have a history at all, in a sense, and yet you do have a history all the time. I first believe that an artist is responsible for being on his or her path and telling the truth, and that through that personal truth, we then connect to deeper things in other people. There's possibility, that anything can happen, that we can use our current tools and create magic. And we know songs move us, to be physical moves us, dance moves us, and those things change the world.